I saw a solution from the multiverse in the real world.
Ooh, this is another one.
Not one that we did, but one that, not the one that we deserve, but the one that we...
The Batman version?
Yes, the Batman.
Not the one you deserve, the one you... What is the quote?
Not the one that we
Not the hero.
need. Oh, not the hero we deserve, the hero we need. Not the hero we need, the hero we deserve. That's what it is.
For a guy who spent so much time thinking about Batman, I cannot ever get that quote right.
It's a good quote. So here's the idea. I found that in a Brazilian prison, at least one of them.
You were in a Brazilian prison.
Yes, so I was trapped in a Brazilian prison. It was I had quite a Christmas break.
Was this one where it had a hole and you had to tie a rope to yourself and climb out of it? Wait, this is Batman. This is the thing.
And I had to I had to climb up out of the hole.
And the secret was you have to let go of the rope or whatever.
Yep.
Oh,
but
man.
Truly it was Bane. Bane was in there with me.
I was born in the dark.
You were merely adopted. I love Bane's voice.
Our topical 2012 reference.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard Bane's voice is a mixture of Darth Vader and Sean Connery. So
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Tom Hardy's a weirdo, and that would be something that you would say, Tom, what do you about this? And he's like, perfect.
This is if Sean Connery was Darth Vader.
My name is Bond, James Bond.
See, exactly. It sounds just like it. Hey, Luke, I am your father. Why did we cast Sean Connery for this instead of...
Join the dark side, son.
That's pretty good. It's like, who was actually Darth Vader at the James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones was the voice.
Could have done Sean Connery. He was a contemporary. They could have got him. So inside of this Brazilian prison, they decided that they would use geese as guard dogs.
Okay.
Because the
Brazilian geese?
Yeah, because if anybody just walks by, the geese are like, rah, rah, rah.
It's like so
they just wander around the outer yard of the prison,
and if they see anyone,
they honk, and it's really loud and annoying. And they're not like dogs. You have to maintain, to care for. Geese, you just throw pellets, on the grass, and they'll. I
was going to say, I wonder if they train those security geese by just teaching them that all people have food and bread that they will give them at all times. So when they see a person, they're like, hey. Yeah, and it works out. They're like, what's up with the geese now?
Yeah, they're always honking.
Hi, they're going over to that makeshift bush that seems to be moving every few feet. That's strangely suspicious.
I love it, but sadly, prisoners probably try to wring their necks all the time.
Well, I was going to say, I mean,
you can't kill the dog.
Bring me to a place where a goose is the guard, and I'll punt that goose over the wall and walk out.
But I think the problem is, it's they have 100. I mean, you can have 100 geese. Who gives a crap? It won't make any difference. Plus, if Christmas comes around, you can have a Christmas goose straight from the prison yard.
What happens in the summer, when they fly north? Are they shoot?
No, I think they're
all of our security.
I think they're not like the blackneck geese.
They're not migrating.
They're like the terrestrial geese.
It comes 4 months in the summer, and they're like, sweet, all the guards are gone. We can do whatever we want. Just walk right out of this thing.
Yeah, it's winter. So that's geese guard dogs. Mini in the wild.
Mini solution.
Well, yeah, mini solution I found in the wild.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we should see if we can get those geese branded, if they'll spray paint our podcast logo on the sides.
The goose, the prison goose?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool, actually. Yeah.
When they, it looks like a bunch of gobbledygook until they open up their wings, in that really aggressive stance. And then you're like, and you're like, oh, solutions for the multiverse. Maybe I'll check that out.
Yeah. What is that? What's written on those geese's wings?
People are like,
I'm always looking for messages on geese's wings.
In the surveys I take, it never says, how did you discover this podcast? From the wings of a goose that was trying to...
That should be part of the drop down now.
Trying to capture me.
Okay, should we do a real solution?
We should do a real solution.
Okay.
Wait, I should introduce myself. Hi, I'm Scott Moppen.
And my name's Adam Prouse.
I almost said my name was Adam.
And we are Solutions from the Multiverse. Oh, that was almost.
Try it again. Ready? We are
Solutions from the Multiverse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We're getting weird on a Saturday morning.
Yeah. So Solutions from the Multiverse is a podcast that comes to you weekly, where every episode is a completely new solution to the world's problems.
And a bang-up conversation between two dapper dudes.
Hella banter. Hella. From us up here in Northern California. We are based in San Francisco.
Or Oakland.
And Oakland, sorry, the Bay. We're in the Bay. And yeah, we try. Usually we talk about like urbanism. I come up with a lot of the solutions. Not gonna lie, I'm a professor.
That's it.
Scott's a comedian, podcast producer.
Yep.
So,
I react to him.
So he helps me.
But that's what I love. I love offloading the work to you.
Yeah.
What, is that not your preferred version?
I did some research. Well, actually, maybe not really. This came from a long time ago. So I'll just tell you the solution, which is extended civil families.
Extended civil families.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm ripping this idea off of a super book from way long ago that no one's read.
I'm gonna have to back up to what a civil family is. So I'm thinking of civil union is a thing that like people who don't get married have.
Yeah, so you have a family, right? Like your immediate family.
I do have a family.
Everyone
nice
does.
try.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean,
nice try to
even if
roast me there, but it didn't work. I do have a family.
So orphan.
Whoa. Wow.
Punching down on a Saturday morning.
Okay. I have a family, thank you, with members.
I've watched the Chappelle Show, which his recent stand up, and he did punching down, and it was actually pretty funny. It was pretty funny because his whole joke was like, I'm not supposed to punch.
Punching down.
Well, he's like, I'm not supposed to punch down, and so it's funny that he's punching down because the joke is that you're not supposed to do that.
Okay,
and so it's funny. I don't know. He pulled it off. I know everyone said he didn't, and that he's just being mean by punching down, but I think people are just not getting the joke. The joke is that it's funny that you're not supposed to punch down, and he's doing it anyways.
Honestly, that's one of the things I like when a comedian can make me laugh about something that I'm like, I should not be laughing about.
Right.
I shouldn't like, but they're able to find an angle on it.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am laughing. Right. This is humorous. I shouldn't be laughing. That enhances it some
makes
degree.
It more.
That adds a little bit of flavor to that.
Doesn't mean that the liberation of all people isn't right. It doesn't mean that we're not going to support people's social justice.
Your new nickname you told me to call you is Adam Punching Down Brown.
That's right.
You said, just call me that, bro.
I can't pull it off. I can't. Chappelle's a genius. I can't do it. But it's pretty funny. But yeah, if you think Chappelle is like triggering you, just remember it's a joke. He's also trying to show you that he's doing a thing he's not supposed to do. He's being an imp. It's called being an imp.
Being a little rascal.
That's what court jesters, right? They're imps. They do what they're not supposed to do in front of everyone, and it's funny.
The two of us calling the most famous comedian alive an imp. We're
that's his brand. His brand is imp. Look at him. Especially when he was younger, he looked like an imp too. He's all skinny.
Also, honestly, if you've ever studied boxing, punching down is like way easier.
So much easier.
Way easier than punching.
Yeah,
why would anyone punch? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, most of the sport of boxing is built to not even allow either one. I
wonder if the people making up that phrase knew that about it. I mean, it's so much easier.
Wait, we got to get back to the solution.
All right.
We got to front load the solution, then we can backload the silliness.
All right.
So wait.
Civil extended
family. So let me tell you where I got the idea, because I want to be honest. This one's not an original. This is taken from Kurt Vonnegut's book Slapstick.
You
Slapstick
took from Vonnegut?
Yes.
That's a pretty good source, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So everyone reads like Slaughterhouse-Five, Cat's Cradle.
Uh-huh.
Some people
read both of those.
Yeah. Some people read like Sirens of Titan. Some people read Breakfast of Champions. Yeah. These are like the top four. Okay. When I was like a teenager, I read almost every book he wrote, which was like 40, 50 books.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I didn't know that.
I just like burned through all his books. And one of them is called Slapstick, and it was absolutely one of his worst books. It's like truly bad and stupid. Like I would put it near maybe at the bottom of the quality of his books.
Okay.
But in that book, he has this crazy idea that I just love, which is extended civil families. So basically the government, just like you wake up tomorrow, or maybe they kind of announce, okay, beginning of next year, we're going to assign everyone in the country to like a large extended family just randomly.
Okay.
So you're just like, so there's like 330 million Americans. And so you probably want each family to be like pretty manageable, like maybe 25,000 people.
Right.
So you just create like however many that breaks down into, like if 4 of them would be 1 million, then you need about 1,200 or 12,000 of them. So you create like 12,000 families. So an extended
family is not an already existing family. We're creating them.
You're creating, totally artificially creating these families.
Okay.
I would say probably like 25,000 people per family is probably a good number.
It's a good number.
Because they have to be like a small enough number that they are not huge, like 500,000, because it's too
I'm going to have to write 25,000 Christmas cards.
You got to let her write.
Oh my gosh.
And with the internet, you could do this really easily because everyone could just join the Facebook like group for their, or like a WhatsApp group of their family. And then everyone in the country. So because if you think about it, families provide a lot of support for each other in a really positive way. They're like a really positive form of civil society.
Right.
And I think it's underutilized. And I think Kurt Vonnegut thought is underutilized. Like we could just assign people to like 25,000 person families. And now people who wanted to, it's a completely voluntary thing, but people who wanted to could like become a leader of their family.
Join these families.
Yeah, their families. Or you call it tribe. I don't even call it tribe because that sounds like you're
Hold on.
doing
I'm
something.
starting to get an idea. If you became the leader of the family, you could like protect the family.
Yep. You could create things for the family. You
could
could work
also,
together on businesses.
Hold
you
on
could
a
work
second.
together
You
on
could
property.
You could even protect like the businesses around where your family is. Like you could walk into them and be like, hey, this is a really nice butcher shop. Would be a shame if something happened to it or something, you know, like that. And then they would pay you money and you would protect their.
I think you're going.
And then your
to the
family
dark side with this.
would have like a special ring. And like sometimes if you messed up, you would get invited to like a secret rendezvous where you wouldn't walk away from. Or wait, is this the type of family you're?
Yeah. Basically, I'm saying we should do organized crime. Everyone should.
Everyone should be in a new gang.
Yeah,
25,000 member gangs.
It is like a gang. Yeah,
but in the positive way.
In a very
joke,
positive
but in the
way.
positive
In a positive way. Yes.
And you support because that's a reason gangs. I mean, one of the reasons gangs happen is because like
they need
people
the support.
They don't want to admit it, but they're like, I like the camaraderie and support of having like a brotherhood or a group of people that are with me.
Right. This is like a gang in a way. I think of it kind of like the Freemasons. Do you know anything about the Freemasons?
I know only what I'm supposed to know about the Freemasons and nothing more.
Whoa, that's a cryptic response.
Yeah, well, they don't like it if you know too much about their secret stuff, right?
So 5 years ago, I met up with some Freemasons, and they kind of were like, do you want to join the Freemasons? Like, do you want to join? And we had like dinner, and I asked them about it, and I researched about it, and I thought about joining.
Yeah. But
then I decided it wasn't exactly my scene. I think maybe in a different group of Freemasons, I would have been interested, but I just didn't. These guys, I just didn't like make immediate friends with them. So I didn't
You're like, look, I like Freemasonry like that. I like.
Yeah, I do.
It's just you guys. You guys are a little bit like anyone else, probably, but not. No, I mean, not into it.
They were nice. They were nice guys, but you know what I mean. You just have that immediate like, I like these guys, or like I don't. You know, I don't. I'm indifferent, and I was just indifferent, so I passed. But I thought, man, this is kind of cool. Like these guys actually have like a really good thing going. You know, they have camaraderie, and they help support each other with various things, whether it's, you know, emotionally or in their lives, you know.
A fraternity. I mean, same thing, like a group of people working who choose to work together.
Who choose to do it, yeah. So the government, and you could do adoptions between these civil families. So you could, you know, the government would just do it at random.
Like a trade, like we don't like our 25,000th member. We'll trade you for your 25,000th
Sammy
member.
Sosa. We got to trade Sammy Sosa.
Look, Lenny over here is just really messing things up. We would like to get rid of him.
No, you got to pitch him positively. Yeah, Lenny's great.
Lenny would really be sad if we
lost him. But let me see what you got.
Just what are you offering?
What do you got on the table? We'll give you Lenny for 2 of one of your people.
Oh, you've got that guy who puts both his arms to the same shirt like sleeve. Okay, well, I guess we'll entertain the offer then. We'll take him.
Better than Lenny.
Yeah. We don't want to tell you, but Lenny is a little bit of a problem.
But I think people could also found their own, you know, like if people wanted to, they could go to the government office of extended civil families and be like, we want to register our new civil family, and they could start their own. That'd be fine, you know? And then I think the government could even like give out a little money to the families. You know what I mean? Like the families could get like
organizational support.
Like anybody running one of the families can just like, as long as you can prove you're like officially a member of the family, like your social security number or whatever is tied to it, and you send in every year, your bank account of your family will get like $15,000 from the federal government.
Ooh.
And you can use that like however your governance structure of your family decides, you know?
Now, if
you could throw a huge party, or you can like use it to help people, I don't know, do whatever.
If me and my significant other, who is with child, are in this family, and we give birth to a baby.
Yeah.
Is the baby in the family?
Baby
need to be drafted?
Then it becomes
born into the family.
It becomes biological. Yeah, it becomes.
So it's kind of like a clan. Like we're making a clan.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not a great. That word has fallen out of favor.
Yeah, right. Well,
because of one
tribe,
specific use.
Clan. Oh yeah, right. Clan. Yeah, clan. Well, tribe. Is there a non-charged word for it? That's why I call it extended civil family. ECF.
Army, occupying force, something that doesn't trigger some sort of negative. Wait, no? Oh.
See, the cool thing about it is that, tribes and clans are usually divided along like race, religion, language, right?
Or location.
Right. Maybe you say you
Like
can't.
I'm the warlord
maybe you
of
say
this
you
area
can't.
or
Maybe you say
whatever.
you can't actually start or trade. Maybe you just say no. You're
stuck.
stuck with who your family is, because the point is it'd be random. So there'd be these clans or whatever. We shouldn't say clans, but what do you call it? Extended family. Yeah, these families.
Yes, families.
These mobs. Oh, God, no, that's not right either. So there'd be these
gangs
extended
of people,
families. Gangs,
hordes,
mobs,
hordes.
hordes. We're going way back. We're going back to
Mongol.
Genghis Khan,
Yeah, exactly.
the horde of the Huns. Yeah.
I have a horde.
The extended family.
Wait, I'll take that back and check with my horde. Hold on, I'll get an answer to you by Wednesday.
ECFs. These ECFs, right? So there'd be these ECFs, and they'd be blended of all, because it'd be randomized. So it's random. You're going to have people of all different colors and races and creeds and everyone.
True mixing pot.
Yeah, it's a true, And then you'd all say, well, we're, and then whatever your name was, and there'd be governance. They'd be all created with a default constitution, and then each family could, like, through that constitution, could make changes to their constitution.
Right.
But they'd have a default democratic structure. So, people would be elected to represent the family.
Okay.
And there'd be this sort of default democratic structure to it that would just launch with everyone being the same.
Okay.
And then there would become slight differences as they did amendments and changes to their constitutions, And they couldn't do anything against, like, it'd be a sort of governmental thing. They couldn't do anything, like, they couldn't say only white people are allowed into our, they couldn't,
right.
They couldn't, they couldn't do anything illegal. But they could do civil society. They could do meetings, mutual aid. Mutual aid would be the stated goal. Like,
okay.
The stated goal is mutual aid.
Yeah, I think we should get to that. What are the, instead of me dialing in
it's
on
mutual aid. So, like, Americans are all freaked out about, like, socialism, like the government centrally, like, taking taxes and, like, doing things. But Americans are really, they're extremely charitable.
Right.
And they're extremely comfortable paying for things that end up in their backyard. Like, people are willing to pay a lot to, like, a school system that goes directly down the street to their school where their kids go.
Right.
They'll pay lots of taxes to that school. Like, they don't care because it's going right back into their kids' education.
Well, and it's somewhat indirectly affecting them because it's in their spot.
So people are comfortable with that. They're not comfortable with money just, like, coming out and going to, like, they don't know where, or, like, people unrelated to them. They don't like, people don't like that. And they don't like central planning, and they don't like things being sort of, it all comes back to our, like, Jeffersonian history in as being Americans.
Okay.
We're like, we have the county system. Like, people want this sort of local control. The NIMBY movement itself is just an expression of this. The people like a kind of localism, a kind of, right? Which is a sort of tribalism, a sort of kind of my identifying with this group, and then that group getting sort of benefits from my work. Okay.
Well, and humans seem to be built very tribal in nature, and we have to fight against that. And it feels like when it gets into a very tribal sort of thing where it's like, rah, rah, it's like, oh, we've regressed. We've moved backwards. Like, we can be in the tribes, but we need to be able to interact with other tribes in a
like sports,
more civil way.
Like, look at sports, right? Sports are full of people of all different, races and religions and sex and gender, and they all like some baseball team. That's great.
Oh, right.
It's perfect,
I thought you meant, or like, some the players. So I'm like, the players are pretty homogenous.
Well, players are. Yeah, but the athlete or the spectators. So this is kind of, we're capable of it, you know, and also people are pretty comfortable with, like, mixed families now.
Sure.
Right? So if you said this is my extended family and you looked out at a crowd of people and it was all different races and genders and stuff, you probably wouldn't be that freaked out, right?
Probably not,
because people are kind of, that's become normalized. If it was 200 years ago and you said, here's my cousin, and they were a different race, you're like, what the hell?
I know not ye.
Right, but now we don't. Now it's more cool. So we're primed to make this. We're primed already to have these extended civil families,
right?
And then through the extended civil families, we can have mutual aid, which will lessen the burden of our currently, like, over technologicalified and over capitalistified system that we have.
Mutual aid, you're meaning, like, if something bad happens to one member of our family, we kind of can split up the cost of the thing amongst us, and it really doesn't impact anyone.
Right. So, like, 25,000 people or if it was 50,000 people, I
Right.
mean, you could make an insurance company.
I was just going to.
You
This
could
seems
make
like
a health insurance company.
this seems kind of like an
Yeah.
insurance model, but
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
positive.
And you could do scholarship funds, and you could
Yeah.
you could say, hey, we're going to tithe to our family, and then our family democratically, which I have a real strong control because there's only 25,000 people. I can email the president of our family. You know what I mean? Like, right?
and then he's like, "Who is this talking to me?"
No, you can be like, I won't vote for you. One of 25,000 votes. It's a big deal. Like, you have a real strong democratic power,
Okay.
right? In some ways, it's recreating the county system of the United States, but but all over the whole country. Because I don't think these
So
would be
I might have
localized.
members of my family in like
All over the
Florida,
country.
and I might
Yeah.
have some in Maine,
all over the country, and you
Okay.
they can put you up when you visit, and they can it creates this community across the whole country. And you'd have members of your family who are like Trump supporters, and you'd have members of your family who are like elite coastal Biden neoliberal Democrats.
No,
And
well,
you'd
those
have-
should be really
you know-
easy dinners to
Yeah,
have
right.
together
Well, there might just like
at our
families-
25,000 member table,
That's
where
a pretty big table.
where someone's.
That'd
You
be
got to
pretty
make sure
cool.
all the plates are done at the same time. You don't want
You do
someone
not
eating
want-
while someone else is waiting.
Yeah. I mean, a bunch of people are just going to be like, oh, technically I'm part of this family, but I have nothing to do with it.
Right.
Okay. But a
Which
bunch
is
of people,
how
yeah,
people are,
yeah.
where they're like, I can vote, but I choose not to.
Right. But a bunch of people would be like, whoa, this is really cool. Yeah, I'm a big part of my family. Yeah, I'm a big part of my family. And people would be like, oh, tell me about your family. Like, you'd go to a dinner party and people wouldn't just be like, oh, where do you work? Right. They'd say, tell me about your family. Because each family would be really different and interesting.
And you're
You'd
like,
have famous people in families,
I'm
right? Like
so-
Oprah would be in someone's family
Sure.
because she's an American citizen. So someone's family would be like, oh, yeah, we have Oprah in our family. Cool. You know, like, yeah.
And you could be like, I'm involved. I'm on the board of our family.
Yeah,
or
I'm on the
whatever.
board of my family, right? Or you could be like, yeah, I don't really have much to do with my family. Or like, oh, I kind of
Like,
moonlight. I kind of go
I
and
get
hang
the-
out with my wife's family.
I get the
more.
quarterly briefings.
Oh, you get married, you have to decide which family the.
Well,
You know.
that's what I was going to ask. So if I'm here in California
Yeah.
and I join the Buff Dragons, that's my new family.
Oh yeah, I love that name.
And
yeah. Does
my-
that mean like strong dragons?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
They're
yeah,
ripped,
muscular,
just really
Oh,
jacked.
Great logo.
You need a Buff Dragon.
Buff dragon.
And then
Okay.
and my family's in Texas over there. Are they default into my family?
No,
or are
no,
they in their
no, no.
own?
Everyone.
So my
it's-
dad and mom might be in a different family
That's
than
a
me.
good question. That's a good question. Should we do it by natural lines? I guess we should do it by natural
Well,
lines.
but then where does it stop? Like, does my cousin over like that I've never met, do they have to be in my family or do I have to be in theirs because
Maybe that's a good question.
we have blood ties? You don't have to think
I
through
don't
all
think
this right
cousins.
now.
I don't think cousins, but maybe parents and children,
parents and children.
and then it kind of flexes by marriage.
But then we can rip the siblings away from each other
because the government,
cause no cousins.
the government knows everyone's name and everyone's marriage, right? Everyone and everyone's marriage.
That's the idea. Yeah.
So they know.
Status.
So they know marriage status, who they're married to, and they know who their children are through
Right.
dependents. Like, this is all in the tax system, right? So they could say, like, for every social security number, we know which social security number is married to which, and we know which ones are children of which. So couldn't they then break the nuclear families into different?
I guess so.
I don't know. I don't know the math of it,
So
but it's
how
totally
many-
doable. You just
In a
somebody's
country
gonna
of
go do
300
it.
million, how many 25,000 member families?
It's like 12,000, I think.
So 12,000 families.
Isn't that right? Because 12,000 would be four
Well, I was trying to
times
do
4
it.
times
25
25 is a
100,000,
million.
100,000.
So you get a million for
40
40
and a
to a
million.
million. So if it's 330, then you need 330 times 4, which is 12,000.
Oh, you would get 4 to the 100,000. You would get 40 to the million, right?
No, 20. Oh, you're right. 40 to the million. So
Yeah.
it'd be 120,000
Yeah.
families, which is, yeah, maybe it should be 50,000. I don't know. Some economist could work out
No,
you
yeah.
know, what the optimal.
I'm not
you know.
dinging your numbers. I'm
Yeah,
not like,
yeah.
well, you said 24,000 instead
Yeah,
of
you said
26,000, so
25,000.
wrong. But I'm just trying to figure out logistically how's it.
You
what does it look
generally
like?
bring all the math to this podcast.
I love
You
doing
just-
math on a podcast.
Just so do the listeners.
Whenever we get a chance to do some division or multiplication, I am
Oh,
just
let's do
I'm
it.
just banging
Get
my
the whiteboard
outside,
out.
yes.
Let's do it.
Out there banging my drum. I'm like, yes, it's math time.
So the buff dragons. Okay, so you brought a good question, but our answer is hand wavy. Whatever, economists will figure that out.
Sure.
Like, wonks will figure that out. But the main point is,
What's a wonk again?
a wonk is like someone who knows a lot about very specific political and very like bureaucratic stuff.
You just said wonk like it was a replacement for the word nerd. You were like, the wonks can figure it
yeah,
out.
so nerds might be good at like math or something, but wonks are only good at policy. right? Because it's called the policy.
They're
wonk.
like a limited nerd.
Yeah.
Like a special edition nerd.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, wonks.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
wonks,
out there,
yeah.
wonks. Would wonks self-identify?
My brother's a wonk. Both my brothers are wonks.
Well, actually, this is the wonk time right
but
now.
my brother Ben is more of a wonk than my brother Nick.
They have a huge movie out right now in theaters.
The wonks?
Yeah.
No, what?
Wonka. I mean, that's
you're
like
right.
the
He is
movie
the
of
king.
all wonks.
Yeah, although he's not very political for a movie about a wonk. Wonks know like I talked to a bunch of like Yimby wonks. You know,
This does not sound like words.
you know.
I talked to a bunch of Yimby wonks.
Yeah, Yimby wonks.
An English learner
There
listening
are
to this podcast is like,
Nimbies
no.
are not as much as are not wonky as Yimbys are all really wonky.
Okay.
Like they know everything about like parking minimums. Like they know everything about like transit and stuff. Anyways,
So the wonks,
you leave
wonks
it to
would
the
figure
wonks.
it out.
They would figure out all the details. But
Right.
the point is, Americans are on board with like they're charitable. A large portion of Americans were voted for Bernie Sanders, and he was proposing this sort of more centralized aid, where you would pay like a tax, like 4% of your income, and then everyone would get health care. And you wouldn't have to pay health insurance premiums, co-pays. You wouldn't have to pay any of the costs you pay for health insurance, which
Right.
is way more than 4% of people's income. And then you just pay a 4% tax. So it's a good deal. And
Right.
people were going for that. But I mean, California voted for Bernie over Hillary and over the other guy who
Trump.
was over in the primary.
Oh.
So Bernie won
Biden?
California. Yeah.
Our current president.
Yeah.
Joe
So
Biden.
Bernie won California both times, which means a bunch of the Democrats in California are totally open to like helping each other.
Right.
But there's not enough in the whole country that people are kind of freaked out by like a central helping of each other.
You
So
say
we need
like
to make
we're
mutual
very
aid societies.
charitable, but I think
Yeah.
we're also very cynical, and we see like reports where like
Right.
the Pentagon's charging $50 for a pencil or something. You're like, oh, my money's being
Right.
poorly used. I
Right.
want to be charitable, but like don't waste my money.
Right.
I want my money to be spent. And so
Right.
if you have a version that does that,
Right. And so you could say these families have a kind of template for an insurance company, have a template for like a scholarship fund for schools, have a template for like these kind of inside the family structures that would all serve for mutual aid, helping the members of your family who are homeless, helping the members of your family who are whatever, and the wealthy and famous and well-connected members of the family
right?
will be identifiable. Like, what is Oprah doing for her family? Oh, she gave money to her family's like homelessness trust,
People are
or
like,
whatever it is,
Oh, you're in Elon Musk's family?
Yeah, you're
lucky. Everyone
he's
gets a
South
Tesla
African.
for
I don't know if he
for
gets
Christmas.
It. Is he an American citizen? I think only.
I think he's an American
citizen.
citizen now, but
Okay.
he was born in South Africa.
Yeah, so I think he would be part
I
of
don't
someone's
know.
family. So then, and he might be like, "Oh, this whole thing's stupid," and whatever. Some people would. They have their
Elon thinking something stupid?
I
That's
know,
ridiculous.
I know. Some people would poo-poo it and say this is dumb, but I think the vast majority of Americans, because of our history as like a kind of Jeffersonian county, religious, civil society-based society, I think the goal. I'm in favor of Medicare for all. I think we should just do Medicare for all because it just works, and it works in every other country, and it just works. So we should just do that. But if you can't politically get it to work, we need to find other solutions, and I think this is one. I think this would vastly reduce the the problems of society
Yeah.
on like a
it could
county
certainly
level.
make it less like people don't feel like their vote counts because it's 1 out of 350 million,
Right.
But if it's 1 out of 25,000
Yep.
or even less if you count
Yeah.
minors that can't vote in that, then
Yeah.
it suddenly you like go, oh, you know what? My participation matters more.
Yeah.
And so it's essentially small government. It's a version of small government implemented by big government. That's
Right. And you'd have, because it was randomized, you'd have like a third to 2/3 of your family would be of one political stripe. And
Sure.
the other third or 2/3, it'd be
and then you'd have a third of non-political people who are like,
Yeah.
stop talking about politics.
and now people would go into these meetings and, run elections inside their families to
Right.
be treasurer and secretary, president, in the, whatever, if you had a Congress in the president, maybe you have a little bit of assembly or something.
Uh-huh.
People would have to go in and be like, this is what I want to do for our family. And these national political issues or dichotomies, I think would start to break down because I don't think they're real.
Yeah.
Like, I don't actually think like the differences between like a disenfranchised, like Rust Belt guy who became a Trump supporter.
Right.
I don't think fundamentally my intentions and his intentions are that different. We all want to take care of our families and have health insurance and have an education. And,
Yeah. we've done this like trick where we like forget about the original intention and we think about what the actions are, and you go, oh, your actions are bad, you're trying to ruin the country,
you're evil,
I'm trying to save the country, I'm trying to stop your actions. When if you dial it back one level, everyone's trying to help things get better. We just have different versions of it.
Right.
So if we can get on the same page of like, no, we both want it to be a better place.
Right.
Let's figure it out like with words before we like fight it and go back and forth and pass stuff and repeal it and whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that's ideological.
Some families would have deep. I mean, this would divide a lot of families, as it does biological families.
Currently,
but I think it's better to have that fought out on a different level than just this sort of it mediated by the mass media. And actually, the mass media increases, right? They make money by fanning the flames of this. Whereas if families were torn apart by this, like these extended civil families, there would be a value in reducing it, right? People would be like, how do we make it so we can at least be civil so that our family can operate? And instead of saying, well, I can just go on the internet and just scroll and be angry at the bad guy, whether I'm red and the bad guy's blue, or the blue and the bad guy's red. There's no cost. But if you're like, look, our family could be offering all these great supports and be this great thing for us, but we can't because we don't see eye to eye politically. It's like the incentive is to do reconciliation.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it would heal. I think the goal would be mutual aid would reduce the burdens of capitalism, like poverty. It would increase community, right? Like people are kind of lonely, lack community. You would have your family, and in every city with 25, maybe 50,000 people, every city would have like, at least a dozen people in your family.
Yeah.
You could meet up and have a dinner. You could meet up and chat, or, it'd be a club that now you're a part of.
Yeah.
And everybody really different, old people, young people, it'd be intergenerational. It's cool.
The one thing is you have to name it something cool, like not something cool,
but you have to civil families.
You just can't, cool. You can't name these families. You can't be like, oh, I'm in family GKG 1214.
Right. Yes, they would vote on their names.
Yeah, you'd have to have something names, that people could call out.
Yeah.
You would want it on the back of a motorcycle vest. I'm back to the gang part.
Maybe give them three numbers, like area codes.
Like a Boy Scout troop.
Yeah, exactly, like a Boy Scout troop.
We're in family 143 out of South Dakota.
Out of South Dakota. Yeah. Well, I think the families would be wouldn't be localized.
Right.
They'd be decentralized. So they'd be all over the country. So you'd be like, and then
like
you could make smaller clubs too. So you could be like, all of family 143 in California is in this Facebook group. That's cool.
But then the cool 143 cool kids.
Well, then the 143 cool kids are a separate group. And there could be like elite 143, like we're 143 VPI. Like we're just the wealthy, members of this family. But actually, even that's better than just all the wealthy people hanging out at Davos and feeling like they're identifying only with each other and not in their family.
Okay.
Like people go out of their way, especially wealthy people, do things for their families.
Right.
They hand their money down to their families, like their biological families. So if you can like hijack this like biological kind of irrational thing and tell people you have a larger family.
Yeah.
You have a large family.
Access the grumpy grandpa for a larger number of
right.
held out hands.
Then they could say like, when I die, I am going to give 10% of my money to my family, to my extended family. My civil extended family.
Yeah.
And that'd be like, holy shit, that's kind of interesting. Like that could create a really interesting dynamic of society at the same time. Anyways, I think it's sort of
it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's basically like the county system. What I'm suggesting is a county system for the 21st century.
Well, the idea of the nuclear family is not the same now as it was like in the 1940s or whatever, the Leave It to Beaver time when they're like, the nuclear family takes care of all these things.
Yeah.
And right now they're like, that's not a thing that we can count on. So having another level of like family structure, I don't think that's bad at all. I feel like we're moving away from that. And
it'd be multicultural. It would have all different races because it'd be totally randomized.
It's randomized.
Yeah. So it'd be totally,
It's a group.
I think it's a cool thing.
Okay. We're in different families probably. It's randomized, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, the chances
1 in 120,000
family is very low. Yeah.
Okay, well then I'll have beef with your family and
so families will have beef with each other. Yeah, there'll be rivalries and stuff. Yeah.
No, but I meant I'll come over and we'll have dinner and it'll be like beef.
But we'll have beef. Beef. Delicious beef. Yeah.
Of course. You took it the wrong way.
Like
That's really
roast.
Tribal of you. That's interesting.
Showing my true colors.
No, but we'll come over and have cheeseburgers. That's what I meant by having beef together. Okay, well, extended families. I like it.
Yeah.
I could use another family. I mean, sorry if my current family's listening to
I mean,
this.
you still have your current family. You just have your extended family too, you know?
Yeah, it's just my current
and
family.
You have
it's
your
not called the Buff Dragon.
Family.
So
yeah, the Buff Dragon.
I'll let you guys pick which one is my new
and
favorite
then there could
family.
be I bet if you made the teams big, if you made the families big enough,
the teams,
they could be called teams. Actually, Americans love teams.
Yeah, stadiums make them play.
Yes, this is your team. No, there could be a whole new layer of athleticism that was created
This is our new football league with 120,000 teams in it. So the tournament is going to be lengthy. Get ready. Sorry, guys.
This round robin.
First of all, the bracket is get ready to print off a lot of paper for your office.
It's a big bracket
competition.
You got to use the digital one. You can zoom way in and zoom way out. Well, I mean, yeah, if there's 120,000, but what if it was 50,000? Then it'd only be 60,000, and maybe not every family would put up a team. Maybe only like 1,000 would.
Only the ones who happen to get professional athletes.
But then some would be really good and some would be really bad. No, professional athletes are banned.
Like, strangely, my team has Tom Brady in it. That's so weird. I guess we'll have him be on our football team.
But there could be or even it could be inside the family. So 50,000 people, you could put up.
No, I showed
teams.
my age. I should say Patrick Mahomes. There we go. That's more current.
Oh, is that a more current?
I think so.
I don't know. I don't keep track. Although I've been told I'm a Tom Brady lookalike.
Really?
Yeah. Sharp bone structure.
Okay.
I guess.
Is he a good looking?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not.
He's
I'm
known
not
for
a woman,
his.
So.
I mean, he's known for his athletic ability, not his looks. Oh no, I guess he's a good looking dude, right? People like the Brady.
He's pointy, like
married
me.
to a supermodel.
Pointy nose, pointy cheekbones, pointy chin.
You're a sharp dude.
Sharp. Looking sharp. I take offense at that, sir. You shouldn't make fun of someone's appearance like that.
Sharp is good.
It's like calling someone potato shaped. Sharp.
I would say that calling someone sharp versus potato shaped.
But I'm saying it's the same
different
thing because they're commenting on the shape of my body.
If I show up and a dude comes down with a really cool suit on and I go, yo, looking potato shaped. He is going to be not very plussed about
that. That's different sharp. Sharp and like you're looking stylish, but sharp, your physical features are actually like letter opener.
Who's looking
like
potato shaped tonight?
I could open letters with your nose and cheekbones. Not a compliment. All right, let's wind it down.
Okay,
families.
Let's wind it
batteries going down.
Our batteries are low.
We could also. One thing we didn't talk about is implementation. So we've been saying this whole time.
Yeah, what
do
you do?
Burning. You know, like the government's got to do it.
Yeah,
but actually. Facebook could do it. Facebook could just be like, now we got these families. Or anyone, a lot of people could do this. A lot of institutions could do this. Now, should you allow people to start families like this? I don't think so, because it would devolve into tribalism. All the religion, all the Christians are going to be in one.
If someone's going to start it like that, they're going to try and do cherry picking and not the randomized thing, which is where things go off the rails real fast. Right. Then it becomes a gym pick. And everyone picked at the end is like, this sucks.
And the wealthy would be like, we're in a family, all the wealthy.
Yes.
Like, that's not good. Yeah, I think maybe it does have to be done by the government or by some like Halo level thing like Facebook, and just be like, okay, we're just doing this thing where you're all in these families.
Everyone's in the thing and randomized.
Yeah, random, bang, bang, boom. Yeah. And the guy would trust the government to do it better. But if the government I think this could be like a Republican, if the Republican Party. I'll be wonky for a second.
Okay.
Right-wingism as we know it. I'll be a bit critical of it, but kind of closed-minded, kind of not open to like other, sexes, other genders, other races, other stuff. That's gone. That's going away. That's just going to be gone because it's just a generational thing. It's going away.
With the stats, it seems like
and the Republican Party knows this. They know that and so they can either shut down voting, which is what they're trying to do. They're trying to actually control the system so that fewer and fewer people can have more and more outsized control of the government.
Right.
Or they could adopt things
more popular
that are more popular but are still in line with their values.
Well, that's been that's been the case the whole time. They could have always adopted more popular stances.
No, but they could adopt. But they could adopt. But it's because they haven't come up with them. So this example of extended families is a kind of in line with like a Mitt Romney sort of progressive conservative ideology, because it's not centrally planned. It's not the government. The government sets it up, but then there's no taxation. There's no, control. It's decentralized. It's democratic. The people doing their own thing.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. You can sell it as like a version of small government, which is what they love.
Small government. It's small government social welfare.
Yeah.
Through mutual aid but it's multicultural, and it's it's equitable, and right, and it's American. It's a big kind of toss up, which Americans love. They don't like things to be. I mean, Medicare for all would just solve it. We don't have to think anymore. Everyone would have healthcare. But Americans don't like that. They like things to be a little crazy. We
got to have a little. We got a little wild west.
So maybe this is kind of like what a right wing social welfare policy could be in the future, when they need to actually get votes from 30-year-olds who now are 10-year-olds,
right,
who are all going to be progressive, and so they're going to need to have policies that appeal to them. They can't just say, oh no, the hordes of brown people are coming from Ecuador, because the 30-year-old will be like, I don't really care. Like I don't mind brown people. Yeah. Like I'm not afraid of brown people. So anyways, yeah, that's, I think, maybe the bigger picture for this. Now that we talk about it,
yeah,
it's kind of a right wing social welfare idea.
Well, I was going to say, everybody out there, pick your families, but we don't get to. You don't get to assigned. Yeah. Get assigned your families, everybody.
Get assigned your families. Be in when the families come, become a leader in your family. Why not?
Yeah. Dominate your family. Take over. Wait, what?
It's not bad, actually. I don't think it's a bad thing. But yeah. Try to help. Mutual aid.
Hi, I'm
not mutual domination.
I'm the Dom of the Buff Dragons. God. Nice to meet you.
Here's the Buff Dragons Leather Club. Yeah, This is great.
How did you know exactly what we would be dressed as? That's so amazing.
It would be funny. With that many families, there would be, just by randomness, one family that actually got all one, right? There would be some, right? There'd be a family where 70% of people were whatever, something.
Or what if all the Jackass guys go into one family and they're
by accident.
Hey, we're the Jackass family.
Right. People would probably start alternative families. If this became popular, people would start alternative families, but they wouldn't be sanctioned by the government. They'd be unsanctioned families. Which families. Is fine. That's just called
outlaw families.
That's just called the Freemasons. I mean, you can start civil societies already. But this would just be a default civil society layer.
Gangs for good. That's your idea.
Gangs for good.
Gangs for good.
That's good. I like that. It is gangs for good.
I was gonna try and poke you with it.
No, I love that. Gangs for good.
Okay.
Yeah. Clans for no, we don't. Gotta get away from clan.
Clan is
with
a
C,
messed up
man.
word.
With a C.
There are some words in this world that have been ruined.
We don't want tribe. We don't want clan. We don't want gang. We don't want extended civil family. I don't know.
Extended civil family,
or just civil family. CF.
I love it.
Okay. Thanks everybody for coming and listening to our crazy ideas.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. See you again.
Yeah. See you in a week. Bye.